So I did it again. I had my mic on because I did a kiln opening, and then I put my apron on over the mic until I realized what was going on. So I'll try and hit the noise reduction button in the editing, but I am so sorry you're going to hear scratching. Oh, for goodness sake, I need to get used to this mic. Hey everybody, Audrey here from Audrey Lynn Studios on the west side of Canada near Vancouver. So I had a few people that ordered the Oyster cutters ask me how they work. I hadn't made a video yet, so sorry. And I didn't include instructions anyway. So this is the finished oyster dish. This one is the 8-inch, and this is the 8-inch clay one that I just made. So in this video, that's what you're going to see, me using the cutters to make the dishes. And I will say later in the video, but I will link the GLAZE-A-LONG for them in the description. Okay? Enjoy. Okay, first things first. We're going to roll out a slab. And if you don't have a slab roller, you definitely can use thickness strips, wooden thickness strips, and a rolling pin. This clay that I'm using is 340 buff. You can use a white stoneware. I'm just using this because the glazing results turn out pretty much the same on both clays, the white stoneware or the buff. I'm using this right now because this is what I have most of in the studio. I usually make my mugs and so on with the white 370. Nah, let's just do that much. So I like to save it for that. Okay. So I'll just do this for a bit, and then I will speed it along or skip to when it's finished. Usually I go, it starts to expand this way. And what am I talking about here? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the thickness that I'm looking for is more than a 1/4 inch. So 2, 4, 5/8. I would say at least 5/8. Just because you're imprinting something into the clay, and if it's too thin, then you're creating stress areas, and you are prone to more cracking then. So this is actually 5/8 already. Here we go. Okay, then compress. So you're, oh, must be something on there. So you're taking the canvas texture off of your slab of clay, but you're also compressing all of the platelets in the clay. I've got some uneven parts here, so I'm just trying to smooth that out. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so what I do is use a piece of broadcloth, and that's behind here by my car. Okay. Piece of broadcloth that I just got from the fabric store. It's thin and it's fine weave, and I like this because I can flip my piece by myself, and this texture, the texture won't. For goodness sake, spit it out, Audrey. It protects the smooth side. Forget it. Okay, so now what I need is a piece of wear board, and I have all different sizes in my studio, so this is a fairly big one. And I'm going to stick that over and flip. There we go. So I didn't bend my piece at all, which is really important when you're hand building, to try not to bend your slabs, because the clay has memory, and if you bend it, it will remember that you did that and bite you in the rear end later. So let's take that texture off and compress again. And what I like about using the broadcloth is it does not stick at all to the broadcloth. Whereas I find when I'm using just wood, it's just that extra having to lift it all the time, and I don't want to lift it. Okay, there we go. And all of these bits you just put into your plastic bag and wedge it up later to make something else. All right, here are the oyster cutters. Now mine are black because when I made them in the first place, I thought, oh, it'd be a good idea to use black. But for selling, I make them out of light gray. And that's so that when I take pictures of the cutters, that you can actually see it better. So anyway, mine are black. So this is the 10-inch oyster shell cutter. And this one is the 8-inch cutter. And this one is the 6-inch cutter. Like this. There we go. There. Yeah, so my hand is probably seven inches. Yeah. All right. So what we want to do is, I find anytime I'm using cutters and stamps, whether they're cookie cutters or things like this, that I use cling wrap. I don't want the clay sticking in my cutters. And it always works for me. So, and I know this is wasteful, but this is probably the only wasteful thing I do. So that's just life. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So let's go with the first one. Okay, so I'm going to be putting this side down. And I will be pressing all the way around. Now, I've done this a few times, so I know what it looks like on the edge when I'm deep enough. Okay, like I just make sure there's, and that's just something you're going to have to play with. This is a large surface area. Ooh, it moved a bit. Oh well, that's okay. This is a large surface area, so you're going to have to use some pressure. Once I've gone all the way around the edge, then I just give it a good press in the middle. Okay, and yeah, sometimes, sometimes I didn't press hard enough, or, I need to get into the groove. Then I put the cutter part, and it fits right around the mat part. And I have, oops, where's the, okay, hang on, sorry. I have different size wear boards, like I said, and this one, because this is so big, I just lay it across here, give it a gentle push, and then push it again till it's all the way down. Okay, somebody's here and I have to stop the video. Okay, so cute. Today's December 6th, and my husband has Dutch heritage. So our friends every year, and I keep forgetting that they do that, they bring Sinterklaas, Sinterklaas little gifties. So nice little Dutch treats. Okay. So then we lift off the cutter and the mat, and it looks good. Very gently. There we go. I probably could have pushed a little harder here, but that's fine. This is good. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have taken that off. I could have pressed a couple more, but that's okay. Let's put that in here. Now, let's just move some of this out of the way. Push this over so I can show you. So let's just use this same board. And I'm going to put a piece of paper, newsprint, underneath, so that as the piece dries, it can move, right? If it can't move, then it may crack. So pick this up gently, put it on there, and then with my fingers, I just fashion it. Fashion the edges up. Try to go gently so you don't, like, not pressing your fingers right in, just using them as guides so that you don't end up with lots of fingerprints that you really have to work at later. I mean, you usually do have to work at it later. See, this is enough. Just go over it again over here, just like that. Okay, and that's all I do, just that much. All right, now, if you want them to stack, you pretty much have to leave it like this. You, when you go to glaze it, if you wanted a little suggestion of a pearl, then you could just do a little circle and glaze just that little circle like a pearl, and your dishes would still stack. If you want a little pearl, then you just, grab a little bit of clay and stick it something like that. Let's see here. This clay is pretty soft, so I probably don't even need slip, but I might just throw a little bit of vinegar on there. Hey, where is my vinegar? Oh, here it is. I usually keep it in just a little bottle and wiggle it around. Yeah, good. I don't know. It's not sticking, is it? Come on. Stick. Now it will. Yep, I can feel it caught. I mean, all of this stuff you can clean up later when it's stiffened up a bit. You just take a sponge and it will all. But there you go. So I'll do a couple more and just probably not do a lot of talking. Let's get the other ones done. Okay, so 10-inch, 8-inch, 6-inch, and these are the cutters. And this is the same way that you would use the pumpkin ones, and they're all gray when you purchase them. The pumpkin ones, which are on the website, the rose ones, which are also on the website, and the artichokes, which are not quite on there yet. So now what I do, once these set up a little bit, then I use rice bags. I lay rice bags on them. Generally, what I do is use a smaller rice bag in here first. Even smaller there, I just didn't grab it. But yeah, something like that. And then a larger one on top for the extra weight. And yeah, because if I use the smaller ones, then the sides won't splay out, right? But that's how I do that. I would do wait though for it to set up a bit first. And then once it's really set up, then go and clean everything up. And I will link the GLAZE-A-LONG in the description because I did make how you would glaze these for what I think looks like the oyster. You can do whatever you want, of course. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. Please leave your comments and hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and see you later.